Hello Surface Warriors, I'm Derek Trank, PERS 41. I wanted to take a few minutes to update you on a couple of items. The Surface Major Command Board met from the 28th to the 30th of October and selected 63 Surface Warfare Officers for Major Command and 6 for Major Acquisition Command or Major Program Manager. Sustained superior performance at sea was the #1 criterion considered by the board, but of course there are other factors the board considers when looking for long-term potential for the Surface Force. Overall, the board selection rate was 45%. The type of ship commanded as a commander did not matter. 42% of destroyer COs were selected for Major Command. 58% of LSD COs were selected, and 55% of LCS COs were selected. While no one factor can tell the whole story, there are some recurring characteristics of the most competitive records. 100% of our officers selected have master's degrees and JPME Phase 1. 41% have JPME Phase 2, and 59% have served a tour in Washington, D.C. The board showed that we value service in challenging at-sea roles like carrier strike group staffs, expeditionary strike group staffs, and numbered fleet commander staffs. The board also values community tours such as SWOS, SMITIC, the type commander staffs, and the afloat training groups. When your detailer talks to you about a job in another location, it's often with this in mind. Our boards, of course, are selecting officers for the next career milestone, but they're also looking long-term at your viability and potential for the Surface Force. As always, I'm convinced our board selection process is as fair as it could be, and I congratulate all our selectees. If you have any questions, please contact your detailer. Our next board is the Commander Command Board, which will meet from the 9th to the 13th of December. Since we started XOCO Fleet Up several years ago, the first look for Commander Command has occurred 2 years after an officer's promotion to Lieutenant Commander. This has led to some instability in the pool of our first look eligible officers as the Lieutenant Commander promotion zones have waxed and waned. Starting with next year's board, we're going to make a change so that the first look will occur after an officer passes 12 years of commissioned service. This is a subtle change and it affects very few officers, but it will stabilize the pool of officers who are eligible for command. It will also reduce the variance between the records considered by the board, further improving fairness. Again, this change will occur in the board that happens in December of 2020, next year. As we approach this year's board, please ensure that you agree with our assessment of your eligibility for the board. We're updating that on our website. We're also going to check every record several times for errors, but ultimately, each officer is responsible for the accuracy and completion of his or her own record. Again, if you have any questions, please contact your detailer. Lastly, we're looking at the time an officer spends after their department head tours and before the XO pipeline. In some cases, that time has grown to 6 or 6.5 years, which is too long. However, we're mindful that many officers view that time as valuable to build skills in quality tours ashore or expand their families. We're targeting 4 years, which allows 2 two-year tours before the XO pipeline. This is still a work in progress, but I know how important this time is to you, and I wanted to assure you that we're working on it. Thank you for everything you do for the Surface Force, our Navy, and our nation. My team and I are proud to serve with you.